Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet, and today we are on Wednesday doing a live. I know we usually do it on Friday, but Friday is New Year's Day, so we're not going to go ahead and interrupt the day on that Friday. We'll go back to our Fridays next week, but for this week, we are going to do it on Wednesday, just like we promised last week. Remember, next week we'll go back to the Fridays, and then we'll be back on schedule in the new year. So before we get to anything, we want to say what's up to everybody. And I see CJ is in here first. So CJ, thank you for coming in. Now, all you guys have to do is put where you're from in the chat so I can see where everybody's coming from in this particular chat. And then we'll get to everything after that. Now, you guys will see today. The topic is, why is your body eating itself? All right. Why is your body attacking your own cells? Why is this? Well, we have to find this out, because if we don't, it will continue to happen until it affects a major organ and then you pass away. We don't want to see anybody die anytime soon, especially with a disease going around now. So we want everybody to be the healthiest that they can be. But before we do that, go ahead, everybody. Put where you're from in the chat so we can get it. All right, Everett O'Neill is in the house. Hey, 1, 2, 3, Evelyn. All right, love it. Evelyn Bees. Look at that. Big Woo back in the house. I love it. Hey, 1, 2, 3. We got Ricky Lee from Los Angeles. All right, Ricky, right? One state over from me. All right, very good. Big Woo is in Houston. All right, and upstate New York. Look at this. We got, hey, 1, 2, 3 in Minnesota, where it's super cold most of the time. I don't know. What about right now? Is it like 12 below zero? All right. So what's going on? There we go. Now, everybody, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and thumbs up the video right now. It's right there. All right. It's right there. All right. Just hit it on the YouTube thing there. All right. Now, I want to tell you guys something. The reason I picked this topic is because people don't realize that they're dealing with autoimmune conditions, and they think that this is just something for other people. This is something that old people deal with. No, all right? We now have teenagers who are obese and have poisonous cells. That fat is so filled with poison, they have an autoimmune condition called diabetes. All right. Yes. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune condition because your white blood cells are attacking your own pancreas, and therefore you cannot regulate your blood sugar. That kind of stuff is not supposed to happen in today's age, because we're supposed to be advanced, right? You're supposed to have technology. We got all the money. We're in the richest country in the world, supposedly. We're in the biggest amount of debt, so I don't see how that's possible, but we'll go with it for now. Okay. But I want you guys to know that it's happening. And people don't realize it's happening. And then until you hear a disease, and then you're like, oh, it is autoimmune. Well, what does autoimmune mean? Well, if you look at most medical books, it says that your body is mistakenly attacking itself. Okay, so let's get some more people in here. Oh, look at this. Please like and share. I love it. All right. Thank you, Everett. I appreciate that. All right. Can you make this available after the live is done? I like to show this to my sister. Of course you can. Now, it's automatically going to be uploaded to the channel on YouTube. So all you have to do is go to my channel. It's going to be up there. So it's all good. Okay. It'll happen automatically. From Detroit, Eat, Play, Decorate. In here from Detroit. I love you. All right. Always. I see you in here all the time. I know you're a writer. All right. Mike Gregory says Miami in the house. All right. Look at the leg of the United States. You down there where all the storms happen. All right. Let me see. We got M.W. Powell. I'm right by Detroit. Look at that. Lisa G says, hi, Alvin from New York. Glad I caught your live. Thank you, Lisa G, for coming on, though. All right. I have to appreciate you for that. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and see how this is actually going to work. Okay, now if you guys jump in here a little bit late, doesn't matter, just throw a thumbs up in there. We'll talk about our autoimmune conditions. Now, some of the ones that you guys are familiar with, I'm going to label right now. Okay, now you guys might have noticed that some people have something called the main one is rheumatoid arthritis, where the joints are actually blown up like footballs, or the person is so weak in the joints they can't even stand up and sit down without assistance, or their joints are they have to hold up their joints with braces. They're so weak. Okay, so that's one that you guys might have heard on. What's another one? You guys might have heard of lupus. Okay, they call it lupus erythematosus. All right, now, if you guys have never heard of lupus, lupus is when your skin separates, the basement layer, this top layer of your skin separates from the basement layer, and when the skin doesn't get nutrients, it dies. Okay, now remember, That happens on the inside because your organs on the inside of your body have skin as well. So therefore, they're going to start to dissociate. And if that happens around a major organ like your brain or your heart or your spleen or your liver, that means we die. Okay, so you can't continue the irritation and let it eat through walls and then think that the organ is going to be fine. It's not. Okay, it will fail on you. And if one major organ fails, we fail. Okay, so there's another one. You guys might have heard of one called IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. That's when your colon has so many toxins built up in it that, boom, your white blood cells start attacking that, trying to get the toxins out, not realizing that it's eating the entire colon. And that's how you can end up with colon cancer because of the damage that's done to the colon. Okay, you guys might have also heard of multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is when the fat, the omega-3 fat, the myelin sheaths around your nerves are eaten away by your own white blood cells. Now, here's the problem. That usually wouldn't be a problem because you have another cell in your body called an oligodendrocyte that rewraps that fat back around your nerve. But if the oligodendrocyte is infected with toxins, your white blood cell will kill it, and now you have nothing to rewrap the fat back around your nerves, and that is a big problem because if your nerves are not myelinated, they go from being white matter to becoming gray matter, meaning gray matter means they are uncovered. And when uncovered nerves touch each other, guess what happens to them? In electricity, they would short out, but in a human being, that causes extreme pain and loss of the function of whatever that wire was running to. That could have been your breathing. It could have been your walking. It could have been your left arm. So whatever is affected, that gets shorted and then eventually cut. And then all of a sudden, you're losing body parts and body functions all at one time. Okay, so no way that anybody wants to live. I hate to see it for people that have to live with this stuff. But here's the thing. You don't have to. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this because Andrew says time for a saline wash. There you go. KC in the house. Andrew in the house. I see you. Lisa West in the house. I got you. Rev Biker in the house. David Pullum, Truth Seeker. All right, we got some people in here today. Yes. Okay, so I see all of you have come in. Very nice. All right, now, I'm going to tell you this. Whenever you guys hear somebody say they have autoimmune disorder, that from their doctor means that your white blood cells are mistakenly attacking you. Okay, now I don't believe that at all. So I think that's complete BS. But some people believe that because the doctor told them that. Now, are the white blood cells attacking you? Yes, they are. But are they stupid and they're attacking you for no reason? No, they're not. And that's what it makes it seem like in a medical book. Okay, so I got some here. Talking about common disorders here. And you can see one it talks about here, it calls it rheumatoid arthritis. Everybody see that? That's one of the major ones. If you guys can see that little crumpled up hand right there. That happens to the hand. It happens to the knuckles. Everything swells up because your white blood cells are vehemently attacking your joints and literally destroying the joint, and your body, the other mechanisms of your body are buffering that with fluid, and that's why the joint blows up like that. Okay, so the fluid is trying to buffer that, and you're getting the overabundance from your eosinophils. That's one of your white blood cells that's telling your body this is where the trouble is, only it's the wrong place. It's your own body system. Now, is it really the wrong place? No. All right, the toxins are actually in there. So your white blood cells are not stupid. They're actually trying to kill the toxins. However, your white blood cells don't distinguish, all right, especially your monocytes and your lymphocytes, they don't distinguish between what is a healthy cell and what is a toxic cell that is right next to it. So if, let's say, for instance, if you see an intruder, let's use this example. If you are let's make you a detective, and you're running after a suspect, and the suspect runs through a crowd of women and children. Your monocytes and lymphocytes are like a loose cannon detective. They say, oh, well, some women and children are going to get killed because I'm going to get this SOB no matter what. And he just starts firing to the crowd. Of course, he will hit the perpetrator and possibly kill him. But on the way, several people will get killed on the way. The same thing happens with your white blood cells. Your monocytes especially are especially violent towards invaders, but they don't care that your healthy cells are in the way. They'll eat them too. They'll destroy them too. They'll chemicalize them too in order to get all of the toxins or invaders or parasites out of your body. Okay, so that's just how it works. Okay, now, not the best for us, but it does. But again, here it says that rheumatoid arthritis, along with other autoimmune conditions, are mistakenly taken up by your white blood cells and attacked as if it's an accident. It's not an accident, everybody. It's because you have chemicals, you have toxins, you have parasites in your body. Now, let's tell you guys this. We didn't used to have so many problems with our white blood cells because we didn't used to have all these chemicals, additives, preservatives that are put into your food. Now you do. So now you have to worry about that. And that's what's bringing on our autoimmune conditions, because all the human being really had to worry about before was something called a virus, a bacteria, algae, a fungus, or a protozoa. That was the only things that affected a human being. But now we have to worry about small and large parasites. We have to worry about toxins. We have to worry about phytotoxins. We have to worry about air pollution, breathing in invaders, antigens. So all of this stuff that is coming into the body, now your body is in overdrive trying to figure out what's good, what's bad, what to kill, what not to kill, and trying to keep you alive all at the same time. That's what your white blood cells are for. They're the defenders of your human body, your castle. So they're supposed to do that. They're supposed to vehemently attack or violently go after these antigens that come into your body. However, when you put toxins and all these chemicals in there, now you confuse your white blood cells, and now they cannot decipher between healthy tissue and antigen tissue, and it just goes after both, and that's what we call an autoimmune disorder. So how do you get rid of that? Well, we got to get some questions in first, and then we'll go to that in just a moment. Okay, so let's find out some questions here. I'm going to see here. I'm going to go all the way back up because KC, was it KC? CJ asked the question earlier, and I want to get to his question. CJ, you asked, I was wondering about a natural way to balance my thyroid without lavoxidine. Okay, so gotcha. For some reason, this is running together on me. Lavoxidine. Okay, now, it doesn't matter what the drug is. You're not going to take it anymore. Okay, now, if you're taking this because you need to level out your metabolism, keep taking it. But I want you to remember, I can't take you off a drug. I'm not a doctor. I can't do that. However, you can, and your doctor can. But remember, they try to make it seem like it's all up to your doctor. It's not. It's your body. You make decisions over it. All right. Just cite the Nuremberg trials if anybody tries to go crazy on you talking about, oh, no, I own your health care. That's the same way of saying they own you, and they do not. Now, how do you get rid of your thyroid? How do you get rid of your thyroid problem? Now, let me ask you this. Do you have an overproducing or underproducing thyroid? Let me ask you that first, CJ. So throw it in there if you got it. Okay. Let me see. Andrew says, what do you do to raise testosterone apart from good sleep, exercise, and good natural food? How is ashwagandha? Says fenugreek, stingling, is that say stinging? I think it's stingling, and nettle. Now, as far as that, I don't believe in using certain things to get something up because it's basically a trick, as you're trying to trick your body into getting a response just for that. Now, he said, how do you raise testosterone? The best way is to gain confidence because you set off a psychological cocktail with your serotonin and your dopamine that actually spurs the response from CGMP, that actually produces your cofactors that produce testosterone. I'm sorry, everything is a cycle. That's why it sounds so complicated, but everything is a cycle inside of your body. So it's never just one thing. Now, if you start doing tricks, you're going to have to depend on the tricks in order to keep it up there. So in order to build testosterone, I would say thought starts. It's the main thing that gets testosterone high. However, you'll notice that the greater muscle you have, that means you got sarcoplasmic growth. The more of that you have, that means the more testosterone that is produced. Because testosterone, which comes from the testes itself, that's why it's called testosterone, it comes from the interstitial fluid that is inside the testes. That is stimulated when you lift weights. And we didn't say cardio. I did not say cardio. I said lift weights, because lifting weights is what builds muscle. It tears down muscle, and when you rebuild muscle, you rebuild a cofactor that stimulates the production of testosterone. So that's why it works as far as that is concerned. Now, the older you get, the less that's going to work, and therefore you're going to have more of a problem trying to build muscle, but it doesn't have to be. It's only because it's interrupted by chemicals, additives, preservatives that we take in every day in the form of over-the-counter medications, prescribed medications, and the foods that we buy, the toxic food that you buy at your local grocery store. Okay, so there we go. Let me see. So that's the best answer. I don't believe in tricks for it, Andrew. I don't like doing those. Okay, so let me see. I never understood that, but studied it, like vertigo. So wait a minute. How do you get rid of tonsil stones for good? It means you're going to have to change the way you live your life for good. Tonsil stones are any kind of stone. You can say kidney stone, you can say bladder stone. It doesn't matter. All it is when you have a bunch of salt. Okay, more than likely bile salt that is floating around in your blood. And when you have that floating around in your blood, what it's going to do is, if you eat something that breaks down bone very easily, like carbonated sodas, carbonated water, kombucha, anything that has bubbles in it, or highly processed foods, highly processed meat, okay, like they sell it almost everywhere. If that is the case, those poisons that you put inside your body, like let's say, for instance, a cola, right? If you put a cola inside your body and it's carbonated, you have a double whammy. You have a chemical and you have a chemical that is carbonated. So you have a double whammy there. If that is the case, and that's what you're doing to your body, your skeleton will have to chip calcium off of itself, off of your skeleton, in order to put calcium in, because calcium is what buffers poisons that come into your body, which is making, in essence, your skeleton weaker. So because your skeleton is now weaker, all right, that calcium mixes with the salt and you get a rock. So that's where you get the stones from. Okay, so that can happen in any part of your body. Don't think because it happened in one part of your body. Let me see. He said tonsil stones. So just because it's happening on your tonsils, that's where the salt is. That's where the breakdown is happening. That's where the calcium is accumulating. That's why you're getting the stone there. So what do? You have to make the opposite happen. Instead of parathyroid hormone, which chips calcium off, you're going to have to release something called calcitonin. And calcitonin puts the calcium back on your skeleton, making it stronger. And that's a balance. That's a natural balance of your body. So, but the main thing is take away and flush out the poisons from your body, and you will notice that, boom, the stone slowly starts going away. Now, I would advocate you do supremely alkaline things, because that helps get rid of stones faster. So alkaline water, it's not strong enough. So baking soda in water. Okay, so that's the most alkaline, immediate thing that you can do right now to start it working right now. So after a few days, stop for about 3 days, and then you pick it up again. So you go 10 days, every day, twice a day, drinking the baking soda and water. All right? And then on the 10th day, stop. Wait 3 days, and then start it up again. Do it another 10 days, and you'll see that it slowly starts cycling down those stones, because you're alkalizing your blood, which has the same effect as what you were talking about earlier, as far as getting the calcium, the calcitonin to release and getting the calcium out of your blood. All right, that's what calcitonin does. It adds calcium back to your skeleton from your blood. Okay, so very good, very good. So we got some questions here. I love it. All right, so let me see. John, all right, so let me see. Olaua. Olaulua. All right, so John, I'm trying to get it. Okay. Good to see you getting back to your normal self. Oh yeah, John, I'm getting there. But I have to admit, I did another update video, and my update video showed that I have been eating bad again. And the 238 pounds that I was at, I had went back up to 251 pounds, 251. All right, now I'm gonna do, after I do all these updates, and I'm done with my 2-week thing, which I was supposed to start last week. I'm going to start it this week. So because my family members, they come over, they want to eat this junk, and I don't want to make them feel bad by not eating what they bought and all this kind of stuff. So you got to eat a little bit. All right, but I went from 238 back up to 251, so I'm yo-yoing. All right, so like people do when they gain and lose weight, So it's easier to gain it than it is to lose it, of course. But I want to make it very easy to lose it. So I'm going to set my body up for that particular thing. So yeah, you guys look out for that. Let me see. Rev Biker says, does ozone blood treatments pass work? Psoriasis. I like it because ozone does do wonderful, like hyperhydrogenate your blood. So I do like it for that reason. But that's another trick. It's not something you can do every day or something you want to do every day, because the minute you start taking outside substances in order to make something right in your body is going to depend on it to come into you. So it's called an accommodation. So when that happens, something is going to go wrong. And when something happens, you have to have the dose of that thing in order to get you back right. And that's the same thing as a heroin addict who's been off of heroin for 3 days. All of a sudden, when you give it to them, they're a functioning heroin addict. Everything seems fine again. But are they really headed quicker towards tearing down their body and possibly death? Yes. So I don't believe in using external things unless they're natural for the rest of your life, or even for a prolonged period of time. I couldn't advocate that. Yes, because even though it does work in the short term, and if that's all you're using it for, it's fine. Okay, but if you're continuously going to do that, you're going to run into some problems. Okay, so you're going to notice destabilization of your blood, either by the enzymes that are in it or blood gaps as far as pressure. So I don't know if you want to mess with that. Let me see here. All right. Royal Calvin says, how do you stay focused longer? That's a exercise in discipline. So you don't try to go from looking at or concentrating on something for 20 minutes and then try to go concentrate on it for 4 hours. That's a huge jump. What you do is, if you can concentrate for 20 minutes, then you try to go for 22 minutes. And then you try to go to 25 minutes. Okay. You just make small increments, and then your brain gets trained on how long to focus on something. Now, I know people are probably trying to give you the chemical answer, the over-counter medication answer to this. No, don't do that. Okay, because there are some things that will keep you focused, but those same things will tear down your cartilage, stop your heart rate, increase your heart rate, mess with your liver function. So you don't want those kind of things happening, because when they do, they're going to be severe. The symptoms or side effects or the problems are going to be real big. So I would not start on the road of doing medication in order to do that, because there have been several people who have died of brain aneurysms and accelerated heart rate and stuff like that from taking stuff like Ritalin, albuterol, Wellbutrin, modafinil, stuff like that are designed to make you focus, but they're chemicals. And when you take chemicals for a long period of time, unless you are doing extreme cleansing like every other day, that's not going to work for you. Okay, it's not going to work. Okay, so let me see here. All right. Let me, what was this? Okay, let me see. John asks, does hydrogenated water machine work? Oh, shoot, it jumped up on me. Work at all? They make claims that it's an antioxidant. You don't need that for you. Truthfully, it is. I will say that it is. However, like we said, it's expensive. And after a while, if you keep on messing with the natural hydrogenation process, meaning how you break down water in your body, it becomes a problem, because your body stops some of the mechanisms you need to do it naturally. So I wouldn't try to overdo it. Okay, so yes. Oh Lord, that's addictive. So Jania, all right. So says hi. What's going on, Jania? I'm glad to have you in here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Let me see this. Lester Robinson says, friend has underactive thyroid. What do you do? Now, if you have an underactive thyroid, that means that your metabolism is going to be down. So if you're overactive, your metabolism is way up. If you're underactive, metabolism is going to be way down. How do you fix underactive thyroid? More than likely, and I'm just going to say this, more than likely, he's lacking iodine. because most salt is except, and you don't want white table salt, but that's where you would get iodine from. But if you do white table salt, it's also chlorinated. So that's what peels the skin off of internal organs. So you don't want to drink or eat chlorine because that's what it is. It's a chlorinated product. However, if you want, you can buy concentrated iodine, and it's usually 2%. Don't go any higher than that, but it's usually 2% iodine, and you put it in water, you drink it, and it instantly starts stimulating your thyroid. Now, in the meantime, since he doesn't have that, you can do something called a thyroid massage, which all you do is put your finger on the soft, you will feel the soft part of your neck, there's your thyroid gland, and you just slowly massage it for about 5-10 minutes, and it picks up its production. Okay, it's almost better than growth hormone. So all you got to do is massage your thyroid there. All right, and that's called a thyroid massage. So you just massage it a little bit, keep it going, and it's the softest part. When you feel your neck, it's the softest part. I can feel mine right there. It's the softest part of your neck. So you just massage it. And now it starts picking up, it starts secreting, and now you get your secretions to go up because it's very, very, very easy to gain weight if you have a low thyroid. Like super easy. Okay, let me see. All right. Champagne Davis in here. She says, "Amen. My husband just OD'd off his Oxy, but I got a call that he'll be okay. I can't wait to get him off those pills he swears by." Yes, I know. Because some people, they mean well, and they looked up a protocol, and the protocol probably worked for that person. That's why I always tell people, I always do a battery of protocols that work together, because a lot of people, when they look up something and they say, let's say for instance, they have rheumatoid arthritis. Instead of following one protocol, they will follow a bunch of protocols all at once, not realizing that they negate each other or make your condition worse, and because they don't know what they're mixing or what they're doing or in what doses or what the timing is for those. They just have no idea. So they just do it thinking that more is better. When you're doing a protocol to get rid of a health condition, one at a time, please, one at a time. Okay. Now, I had a while ago, I don't push this anymore because I just don't want the legal headache of trying to help somebody in case they die. So I used to have a course for cancer. Okay. Course was it was like $8,000. Okay. And it was because I was going to give my personal help to the people. And I had written a protocol to where you followed this protocol, and after 2 weeks, you stopped because you got what you needed out of that one. Then we went to another protocol that helped with stage 4 cancer, if you had that. If you didn't, we didn't do that part. But then we went to the stage 4 cancers, get that out of the way. Then we went to another portion where we built up your white blood cells, which gets rid of the cancer. And then after that, we actually just managed it. And then we got updates in the last week or two. We got updates, and then we adjusted certain things. And if we needed more of one protocol, less of another, then we did that. But I can't tell you guys, I got rid of so many women's breast cancer, so many men's colon cancer, mouth and throat cancer, lung cancer from smoking. You guys have no idea, but I don't do that anymore because when you charge that amount of money, the people do the work. Okay, that's what it is. But if anybody, and all it takes is one, if anybody were to die as a result of my recommendation, who do you think they're going to blame? Me. All right. Even if they did, their family is going to want retribution for somebody who died in their care. So I stopped doing the cancer protocol because it's a liability. It's a legal thing. So I had to talk to a lawyer and everything about how do you protect yourself. And most of the time you can't even do that when somebody's trying to sue you, because they can sue you for any reason. So that kind of stuff. So I just said, I'm going to leave that alone. So even though I really, no bull, I feel I was the best person in the world at getting rid of somebody's cancer, because it didn't matter what kind you had. You could have had a brain tumor. You could have had lung cancer. You could have had colon cancer. You could have had pancreatic cancer, splenic cancer. It didn't matter. I could get rid of all of them. And all the person had to do was follow directions. Now, when I sold the same cancer protocol for, I think it was $497, and it wasn't quite the same because I upped it a lot, but it was kind of the same. And when I did it $497, some people bought it and they didn't do anything. I'll say, wait a minute, this could save your life. This could stop you from getting mammograms. This could stop you from getting your x-rays. They could stop you. But people get in a routine and they want to keep doing what they're doing. And I just said, I'm not going to help people who don't want to be helped. So I jacked up the price and several people, no problem paying the price. And they were like, I need it done. I want you. And I was like, I'm not a doctor. No, shut up. I want you. And I was like, but you could pay this money to somebody who's more qualified. No, I want you. So here's the money. Let's get started. And it was just like that for everybody who actually paid that amount of money, because I knew they knew they were going to get their problem fixed, and they knew I knew what I was doing. So that's the only reason somebody would pay you that, because you know what you were doing. However, I will tell you this, none of the people who paid that price slacked off. None of them missed any videos. None of them missed any lives, any of that. So that's what we're dealing with now. Okay, so I discontinued my program because I'm not money hungry. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing for the right people. And if people start coming after you legal wise, like the lawyer advised me, I was like, well, I can let it go, because most of the people who I did it for on a lower price didn't do anything with the program but buy it and let it sit, because I can see when somebody logs into my program, and most of them didn't even log in once. So so that's the way stuff happens sometimes. All right, so let me see here. Let me see. Shannon. I see you, Shannon. Evelyn Mendoza, way to go. One of my students here. I just wanted to say hello. I hope you had a great Christmas. Of course I did, Evelyn, and I hope you did too. Yes, I'm trying to take care of myself. Yes, I have gained weight on purpose, and I have not lost it yet. I've been sabotaged by my peoples. All right, so I'm getting on it this week. So let me see. Shannon says, my stomach is talking a lot. I only have assumptions of what it is. What could be going wrong? Rumbling, quivering, like sometimes in there. Ooh, Shannon. Usually when that is happening, your stomach is talking a lot. That's your stomach folds rubbing together. They're called rugae. So they rub together in there. And when they do, they make noise. That's how you know you're hungry. When you have no food in your stomach and your stomach folds a little bit, the folds rub and you hear the. So when they're rubbing, yes? Well, when you're feeling quivering in the stomach, that's a nervous issue, meaning that your nerves that are running to your stomach are being activated for some reason, usually due to damage. Now, I hope this is not the case, but your stomach lining could be being stripped, especially if you drink a lot of soda or eat a lot of sugar. All right, that's usually the main thing that kind of messes up your stomach acid. Now, I try to counteract that with every time I eat sugar, I try to take apple cider vinegar to counteract the effects of sugar. It makes it innocuous so it doesn't do stuff like that. Or if you're hardcore, like I am, I try to, I wouldn't recommend it. I do baking soda and water as well. That's more of a hardcore, but the apple cider vinegar, if you guys can't take apple cider vinegar, use baking soda. It works the same. It dissipates sugar and you don't have any crashes because the sugar doesn't react like it normally would. So try it out. Try it out. However, if it's damage to your stomach, I'm going to advise you go to Sprouts and buy something called either. It's one of two things. Buy either one. You don't need both. Okay, you don't take these at the same time. You can buy something called mastic gum, which repairs the digestive tract, or you can buy something called bovine colostrum. It's the colostrum that is from you can extract from fresh cow milk, and it will give you the regenerative powers that you need to regenerate any lining from your mouth all the way to your anus, and that includes your stomach. So try either one of those out and see does it help your problem. Okay. Now, don't do it once and think it's going to work. If you have damage to your stomach, it usually takes a couple weeks to a few weeks in order to make that happen. So stay with it. And over the course of about 10 days, you should start seeing the problem start going away. However, you cannot continue to drink sodas or things that are carbonated, even water, kombucha, anything that's carbonated. You can't continue to do it because it will literally zap it will strip them faster. It will strip your stomach faster. So please, please, please. Okay, so let me see. John says, thanks. Thank you, John. All right. So D-Roy in the house. Is it possible that medical screening could improperly diagnose a thyroid issue? D-Roy, they do that all the time. Yes, because the doctors, and they know this. They're acting like they don't, so they can stick you on a pill. However, when you have a thyroid issue is never a thyroid issue, but they treat it as if there's something wrong with your thyroid. That's usually never the case. The thyroid is reactive to your adrenal glands. So you have corticosteroids, stuff like that. You got stimulants, you got suppressants that come out of your adrenal glands. They directly affect your thyroid. So if these hormones from the adrenals go up, the production of the thyroid goes down. If the adrenals pick up, or so should I say go down, then the activity from the thyroid goes up. It's an inverse relationship one has to the other. So therefore, whenever you have a thyroid issue, you never look right at the thyroid, because it's only a gland that secretes at the effect of your adrenals, which is a secondary effect, or the primary effect, which is coming from your pituitary gland in your brain. So because of that, we got we got issues that are have to be fixed relatively quickly, but they can be. So how do you regulate those? I would suggest you go on a water fast for about 2 days. All right, you don't need any longer than that, because after 12 hours of not eating food, you will automatically kick over to ketosis, and then your hormones, by definition, have to start regulating themselves because you have nothing else coming into your digestive system. I would even recommend doing a saline wash before you do that, so that you have nothing in your gut that your body can draw from as far as a poison. Okay, so yes, because most foods are a poison. All right, let me see. What do we got? Rev Biker says, what is your best suggestion to get rid of or control psoriasis? You don't have to control psoriasis. You can cure psoriasis. All right. If you want to get rid of psoriasis, you flush your body. Now, I would recommend, if you're not going to do a saline wash and a coffee enema, because if you do a coffee enema, which will give you basically a brand new liver, your liver will do it in the next 4 days on its own. All right, probably a lot less than that. Okay. However, if you don't want to do a coffee enema, meaning shooting coffee up your anus, that's what it is. All right. If you don't want to do that, you go to the store and you get you something called a liver cleanse. And the liver cleanse will flush your tissues and flush your liver. And once you get that out of there, guess what? Psoriasis happens in your skin because your white blood cells, that's why it looks silvery, because your white blood cells are actually eating the layer of your skin. So how do you do that? You have to flush your skin. And the skin is just another way of saying tissue. So if you get a tissue cleanse, it will flush that out of there. But remember, don't put the poison back in there that you just flushed out by eating steaks and processed fries and tater tots and fried chicken from Cane's and cheeseburgers and all this good stuff that people love to put in their faces. You can't do that. Now, if you are going to eat poison food, you can't listen to me, because if you do eat the poison food, that means you do need medication. Because if you're going to eat stuff that is going to be bad on your body, you're trying to continue your lifestyle, eating the same toxins and poisons that you were, but you want to have a different outcome. The only way you can do that is by medication. Now, if you take away the poisons and you flush them out of your system and you start eating better, and nobody said you had to give up pizza forever. Nobody said you had to give up hamburgers forever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that for the most part, 80% of the time, I would even say 90% of the time, we want you eating, juicing, eating fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's basically all, that's the extent of it. You don't have to do anything crazy. All right. You don't have to go out and do a combo. All right. And be throwing up in the forest with a bunch of dudes who failed out of high school. All right. That's just an example. But you know what I mean, that you have to take care of yourself. And if you're going to take care of yourself and cut out a lot of the processed and poisonous foods, then yes, you listen to me, you get your life back, and you get it back fast. But if you're going to continue eating what you eat, drinking what you drink, but you want a different result, you then have to take drugs in order to get that. Okay, so and that's going to shorten your life considerably. Okay, and I'm not joking about that. If you want real studies on that, go to the New England Journal of Medicine. They state that anywhere from 1993 all the way up to the present. You can go check out the Lancet. I think they're 1978 all the way up to the present. You can go to the Journal for the American Medical Association. They're a little funny because they never say anything against medicine or how it's poisoning people. But if you read between the lines and you look at their research, that's exactly what it tells you. So, all right, let me see here. We got Chokia. Is that say? Is it Tokia? Tokia. All right. So Woodard. It says, I'm allergic to shellfish because of the iodine. Could that be why I'm so tired? Of course, because whenever you have an allergic reaction, allergic, it sounds like a harmless word. Allergic means that your cells are literally blowing up and dying all at one time, and your white blood cells are rushing in to kill more cells. That's basically what an allergic reaction is. So if you just imagine somebody having asthma, that's an allergic reaction, meaning their muscles blow up with fluid. Your white blood cells rush in there, and then a whole bunch of mucus accumulation. They're deadly diseases because that could close off your airway and you suffocate to death. Well, that's what's happening to other parts of your body when we talk about that kind of allergic response. So as far as the shellfish, can you become unallergic? Yes. Now, that takes a long-term flush of your tissues and your blood. I'm going to say for shellfish, you can reverse it, but it's probably going to take you a good 2 or 3 months in order to completely flush it without putting other poisons back in your system. Okay. Now, you can do it to some extent. Like if you were to have Cane's chicken once a month, all right, that's probably the extent. But you can have Domino's pizza instead of the Cane's once a month. I'm pushing it with saying twice because these are acute. The poisons are acute, but it's going to take about 2-3 months. The more poison you add while you're doing a protocol, the longer it will take the protocol to work. Okay, give you an example. If you have cancer and you've had no chemotherapy, you can usually get rid of your cancer in 30 to 60 days, no matter what stage you're in, even stage 4, which is supposed to be the death sentence. Okay, so gone. But if you do chemotherapy once, it will take you an entire year of eating right without putting a single drop of toxin back into your system in order to get rid of a cancer after one chemo treatment. So most people are lined up for 7. That's the base number, 7. So now, if we're going to do it for 7, that means that now we got to wait 7 years for it to work effectively. Now, everybody's different. Some people, that same thing, it'll take them 4. Other people, it'll take them 10. So it just depends on the person. But on average, it's going to take about 7 years after doing that with a cancer diagnosis. So, okay, let me see. All right. So John says, what if it was hyperthyroid? Hyperthyroid means you're overproducing, meaning that you can eat anything you want and basically you won't lose weight. However, if you have a hyperthyroid, that means your adrenals could be failing and you might have a tumor or something on your adrenal gland or glands, and they're not secreting like they're supposed to. Now, that could also be due to toxicity. If your adrenal glands, which are extremely dense organs, if they get toxified, they will start shutting down in their function, and that's why your thyroid is so high. Now, if you have hyperthyroidism, if your adrenals are fine, which they could be, you could have a tumor on your thyroid gland. And for that reason, or you can have a dead spot inside your thyroid gland. And because of that, now one will display more than the other, and then you can either get hyper or hypothyroidism, just depending on where the tumor is on your gland. So just depends. Okay, so crazy stuff. Warning: sugar kills. Andrew, I love it. Andrew, I love it. All right, you are the man. You and I are continuing to help others, and I love helping people. Andrew, I know, I do too. I got to say, I absolutely love doing the lives because it's, you notice I don't ask you guys to donate to a Patreon or anything like that. I did. Some people did donate to the when we come up with the special protocols. So like Marcus Macon gave to it. I see Wheels for You. That's the name under the PayPal. Who else is it? I think it's somebody named Roger Beeman that came. So these people are actually contributing. Gaius was doing it for a bit. Yes, these are people who actually contributed to this, so I can use the money to try out different supplements and protocols, so I can find like stuff that works as a cure for most of these diseases that people are dealing with in society. So I have to appreciate you guys for that. So thank you for doing that. Thank you. All right, I'm going to put the link below this if anybody else wants to do that, because I was asking for like $5, $10, or $20 per month so we could actually use this to do better protocols. And if you give, I'll do one for yours, particularly if you do the like $20 a month. I'll just make up the protocol and I'll send you the protocol via email if that's something you guys want to do. So I'll put the link below. It's not there now, but I'll put it below right after this video, and then everybody can see. If you guys want to give a little something every month, that's cool. If you guys are struggling because COVID took away your livelihood, that's fine too. Okay, so we're all good. All right, now let's see. All right, I want to see. Oh, Andrew says, can you do a coffee enema before bed and then saline wash the following morning? Of course. Of course, yes, because then you get the full effect of the coffee going in there without the interruption of the saline wash if you're going to do it after. I usually do the saline wash before so that nothing is in my colon. So when the coffee does go up there, there's nothing pushing against the coffee. So yeah, it's just a little trick I've learned from doing these over the years. So let me see. Shannon says, you make so much sense. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. Susan H says, how can I lower my cholesterol back down to normal? I don't eat fried foods. I do eat a lot of nuts. My levels are 211. That's the bad cholesterol. Now, Susan, I don't like when they say that because there's no such thing as bad cholesterol. Your cholesterol produces itself as a result of damage. So cholesterol does not cause heart disease. Cholesterol does not cause your skin to harden. It doesn't cause sclerosis of your heart, any of that. Okay, so when people say that, they're saying bad cholesterol because if that number is at a certain level, then they consider it bad on a chart. However, inside your body, cholesterols are supposed to balance. All right, they're not supposed to be good and bad. Okay, you get them in response to certain events that happen in your body. So there's no such thing as bad cholesterol. Now, when she says lower my cholesterol, you do not want lowered cholesterol. You want balanced cholesterol. Your cholesterol actually should be medium or high. Why? Because the master steroid in your body is called cholesterol. It's what everything is made out of. Neurotransmitters, cholesterol, enzymes, all of them, cholesterol, hormones, cholesterol. That's where they all come from. So nobody in here should be trying to lower your cholesterol. What you should be trying to do is balance your cholesterol. Now, that means that whenever you eat fat, you're trying to extract a cholesterol molecule from the fat so you can make your body's hormones, enzymes, neurotransmitters. That's what cholesterol does. However, you don't want whole fat floating around in your blood because that slows down your circulation and makes your blood sticky, and that's prime for a stroke or a heart attack, or in some cases Bell's palsy. Okay, when one side of your face just is like you had a stroke, but it doesn't happen to your body. So that kind of stuff. So it's not really about getting rid of the low density lipoprotein cholesterol. It's about balancing it, not getting rid of it. Okay, so yes. All right, so I'll give you a practical example on that one, Susan. When you eat an avocado, you probably should have some bacon. When you cook eggs, you should cook it in 100% butter. Okay, now I said butter, no country crock spread, no margarine, no imperial, none of that bull. All right, that's junk, that's plastic that you eat. Okay, 100% butter. You can get it from Costco. I buy it all the time. Kerrygold butter, imported, great tasting butter. Okay, 100%. That's all that's in it. All right, cream and salt. That's all it should say. So get it, and it's imported, so I don't have to worry about it being organic because I trust where it comes from. So try it out. Try it out. It works. It does work. All right, let me see. Angela, fantastic, says, a friend told me that she still feels the effects of chemotherapy after 2 years, and some people feel it longer. You should not, but you do. Why? Because chemotherapy destroys your immune system. Yes. Now, does it appear to work at the time? Yes, because anytime that you shoot radiation at a living thing inside your body, because cancer cells are literally your body's own cells that are defective. So whenever you aim a powerful radiation at something or take a drug that is the effective radiation on it, then guess what? of course it's going to run away. Okay, if somebody pulls out a gun, you run, right? So that's the same thing that happens to your cell in the body. They try to run and get away from it. So they recede. And it looks like, oh, my cancer has gone into remission. However, when you come back to it and you look at the people who have cancer, it doesn't matter, but the cancer is coming back because you didn't fix the problem. All you did was make it retreat. You didn't fix it. See, I'm a trained Six Sigma root cause analysis specialist, meaning I am trained, all right, from a long time ago to look at a problem and see what is causing the problem for real. All right. Now, in our medical society, they look at symptoms. Symptoms aren't the problem. Symptoms are what are outwardly exhibited as a result of the problem. So you actually have to go back and ask yourself, is there supposed to be a series of questions that you ask to get back to the main root cause of what this is stemming from? Okay. So yes. So let me see here. All right. Let me see. Lithlink. Is sarcoidosis curable? And also, can a damage to the lungs due to sarcoidosis be reversed? How can inflammation on the lungs be reversed? Now, inflammation is temporary. Anytime you hear the word inflammation, like when you see itis on the end of a word, it means it's temporary, meaning your white blood cells are doing that on purpose, your basophils. They're doing that on purpose to alert the other white blood cells that this is where the problem is, or your thrombocytes, this is where you heal. So that's normal. All right, it's supposed to be there. Now, if you're saying sarcoidosis, all right, which are lesions, which are going to be lesions and damage. If that is going to be the case, then that means that, yes, you can repair those. But if you're like me, and I don't have it anymore, but if you have keloid skin, it tends to be a lot worse. If you have a underperforming liver, you will have crystalline structures that form as a result of it on your lungs. And these will cut, literally, the crystals that form in your lungs will cut holes into your lung, making it very difficult to breathe and therefore causing you to lose oxygen capacity. You can't have that happen because the atmosphere is 21% oxygen and it's 79% nitrogen, meaning that you have to separate oxygen from nitrogen and breathe the oxygen and kick out the nitrogen in order to survive as a human being. If your lung function goes down, that doesn't happen. And therefore, now they got to give you a tank where you have 100% oxygen. Well, if you're going to fix or reverse that problem, first you have to soften the crystals, meaning alkalize your blood, because capillaries are the only thing that can get to your lungs. It's a delicate tissue, so capillaries is the only things that can get there. And we're going to have you do that consistently. Okay, now, again, you're going to have to do water and baking soda, and I would advocate purified water, not tap water. Purified water, baking soda twice a day, and start noticing that it starts going away. Now, at the same time, do not swallow your mucus, because the mucus is designed to catch what is infecting your lungs. Because when you get up mucus, it's usually coming from your respiratory system, your pulmonary system. So if that is the case, then you have to spit it out, because you're re-swallowing the poison if you swallow it. So every time that you have mucus build up in your nose, blow your nose. If you have it build up in your throat and you can feel it, cough it up and spit it out. But don't let it keep reinfecting the system, because that's exactly what it will do. All right, and it will go through your tissues and it will end up right back in your lung tissue, because it's the only tissue that it reacts with. And we could be talking about a virus, we could be talking about a bacteria, but in any case, it's going to make its way back to your lungs and infect it. So, you said this was sarcoidosis. Now, do you know if it was caused by a virus or bacteria? So I'll ask you that. Virus or bacteria? Okay. Yes. Tamara C, I see you. She says, Shalom, dear brother. I have a question about swollen lymph nodes. My son has them. He's 18. What would be a good way to drain those besides rebounding and taking lymphatic system drainage pills? Now, I wouldn't recommend pills to drain anything, because all they're going to give you is diuretics, and sometimes that makes the mucus thicker and worse. So now, when you say he has swollen lymph nodes, where? Because I'm assuming they're around his neck, and if that is the case, because you can't see some of the other ones, or if they're under his arm, if you can see those, lymph nodes blow up in response to an infection in a localized area. You have 4 areas of lymph node concentration. You have the cervical, you have the mediastinal right in the middle of your chest, you have axillary, which are under your arms, and then you have inguinal, which is near your genitals. Now, those are the 4 areas that blow up in response to an area that is infected. So if you had an infection in your thigh, your genital lymph nodes will blow up. If they're under your arms, that means that your blood vessels and or your lymphatic vessels, usually like Hodgkin's lymphoma or something like that, has happened underneath the arms. In the middle of your chest, if you have an infection on your heart or your lungs, those are the ones that blow up, but you can't see those because they're behind your rib cage. So you would just feel pressure in the chest. And if they happen in your neck, that means the infection is in your neck or in your brain. All right. That's scary because there's hardly anything you can do to take that is not food. Food works, but there's nothing you can take as far as pills or medication that would get back past your blood-brain barrier in order to make it right. Okay, so that's the problem. So I'm in order to get rid of that. It indicates an infection, but without a test, I wouldn't know what the infection is, though. So does he give you any other symptoms? Does he give you anything else? So let me see. Andrew said the body makes 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol per day by itself, but if you eat it, the body doesn't make what you have of it. Okay, I got to say this. Cholesterol is also good for testosterone. Haha, yes, it is. Now, he's right. We eat fat in order to get cholesterol from it. However, your body does make its own form of cholesterol. However, the cholesterol that's bad, they call bad, low-density lipoprotein, is what you eat from all the bad stuff. All the cheese that you eat on a pizza, the fried meat and the melted cheese that you eat on a hamburger, the chili cheese fries, the carne asada fries that you guys eat at your favorite restaurants. That's usually where the cholesterol comes from, and that's what they call low density lipoproteins. Those you can have those, but as long as you balance them. I don't see anybody doing that and putting an avocado on top. They just don't. You don't do that and then take a fish oil. You guys, you don't do that. So you're taking all of the bad stuff that would harm you if you imbalance it, and then you leave the good one that you should have low. And it's not the fact that this low, it's the fact that this is unbalanced, and that's the problem. So yeah. All right, so I love it. Andrew, on top of it. Eat, Play, Decorate says, my cousin has been diagnosed with lupus. I definitely want to send her this video. Send it to her because it can only help. It can only help. The first thing you're going to want to do with lupus is flush, because that's an autoimmune disorder. And that means that we got to flush the toxins out so your white blood cells stop eating the organ. Okay, in this case, it's the skin. Now, don't forget, everybody, this can happen to your blood too. You call it leukemia. Okay, this doesn't just happen to tissue. It happens to your blood too. That's what leukemia is. Okay, so yes. Can I reset my pancreas? Nisha says, asks. Of course you can. Yes. Now, you have to do it longer with your pancreas than almost any other organ, because your pancreas and your thyroid, those are extremely dense organs, meaning they're harder to flush out. So you just have to do it for a little longer time. Like most of your glands, even your brain, you can flush them out in like 2-3 days. Pancreas, probably going to take you 7-14 days, depending on how bad. Okay, so it doesn't take that long, but you have to be consistent at it. You can't do it one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to go back to the pizza today, and I'll get back to this tomorrow." It's not going to work. Okay, so you got to do it continuously. Okay, now I got a lot of this stuff. If anybody doesn't have it already, I got a lot of stuff in my book, Eat Butter, Smoke Marijuana, Kill Cancer, and Live to 100. That's my book that I have on Amazon. It's selling right now. That's what the book cover looks like. All right, if anybody wants to go buy it, you guys will see there's my name up there, Elvin Jackson. All right, I am the author. There's my mug on the back. Yes, okay. So look. But I got stuff in there talking about weight loss, how to get poisons out of your body, talking about getting rid of cancer. That's what I really wrote it for, how to get rid of cancer, because people don't realize how easy it can be and how many different methods there are to get rid of a cancer in your body. And I got to tell you, my trick to diabetes is I treat diabetes like a cancer, and therefore I can get rid of it really fast. Okay, so yes. All right, let me see. Dino says, vaccines are the biggest cause of autoimmune disorders, destroys important bacteria in the gut, and starts the democratic domino effect. All right, of course. Yes, it does. All right, I have to agree with that. Now, is it the whole reason? No. But is it a big reason? Yes. Because whenever you guys take a foreign substance in your body that bypasses your protection mechanism, which is your skin, your mucous membranes inside your mouth, if we shot, let's just say we took a syringe of a vaccine and we shot it straight into your mouth, you would all vomit. because it ain't good for you. But they bypassed that because they knew you would never get another one again. They bypassed that by putting it straight into your bloodstream through your skin. And then all of a sudden, now when you get sick, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a vaccine working. Don't worry about it. They just poison you. But it's just a vaccine working. Yeah, you'll get sick, you'll recover, and you'll be super impervious to everything out there. That's not true. Because if that were true, you wouldn't have to get one every year. That means it's making your system weaker. Because if you actually caught the disease and recovered from it, that's called active immunity. I mean, you have a lifetime. You have a lifetime protection from it. So you don't have to get it. In fact, if you do, maybe once more in your lifetime, all right, and you're protected for the rest of your life. But they make it seem like, oh, you need these needles in your arm. You need these shots in order to protect yourself because that's what's, and you guys should have noticed that. Even though they had all those shots ready and sitting in a warehouse and ready to go, these people, most of the American people are like, you know what? I don't want it. And no wonder, because once you screw people over so many times, once you bend them over and say, yeah, I'm gonna use lube this time. When you do that, and every single time you don't follow through in your promise, can you blame anybody for not trusting your monkey ass? So let me see. Andrew. Lymphatic system is another circulatory system that needs movement to circulate. That is correct. Very good. All right. Yolanda says, I feel this way since kids. Anytime when I run or I do any physical activity, I feel pain that starts on my stomach and goes through my middle back and up. Any advice? Yolanda, you described a very specific pathway, and I'm going to I can't say without a test, but I can pretty much guarantee, all right? I'm not going to guarantee, but I can pretty much do it. That's a nerve issue because women are innervated heavily in the midsection, that due to your reproductive system. And because of that, if you say something goes from your stomach to your back and up your spine, that's definitely what it is. Now, that means that you're going to have to protect those nerves, because I can't really tell you what to do because there could be several reasons for that. Like if you got a HPV shot, okay, that could have stimulated something. If you have an epidural during your pregnancy, that could be the cause of it. You can have stretched nerves or pinched nerves. One of your discs in your back has slipped or pinched a nerve, and now that's the pain and problems are extenuating both ways. Without knowing exactly the cause, I can't say. I can only ballpark it for you. So, yeah. So those are going to be some of the things, though. All right. Look, Carl says, I bought your book, Alvin. Still reading it. All right, Carl. That's what I'm talking about. And remember, we got big letters in there. So I didn't make this in small print, so you can read this pretty fast. And I think, who is it? One of my students bought the book, and in 2 days, she had read through and put tabs and everything in every section. And she has literally improved her life by doing that. I was just so impressed by the effort she took to put into that book and just follow through to the letter and get her health back. I had one young lady, who was it, Dominique? Yes, I had one young lady who was a former student of mine. She actually was 20, she had to be like 21. All right. And she was like, I can barely walk, and I can't sit down for a long time. I can't get up. And my hips are hurting. And she could barely walk on one hip. And she was like, it's getting worse and worse. And she was like, should I have surgery? And I said, surgery? All right. I was like, no. I was like, can you lift your leg straight up and hold it for 1 second? And she's like, yeah. Can you put your leg out to the side? Yeah. Can you put it to the back and hold it for one? Yeah. So you have full range of motion, and she was still flexible in the hip. So in the hips, both of them. So I was like, that doesn't sound like you need surgery, especially not now. I said, do you feel any tearing or pulling on one side? She said, no. So that means everything was intact. So I was like, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go out and get you 3 things. I want you to get selenium, vanadium, and I want you to get some copper. That's it. All right. Selenium, vanadium, copper. As soon as she takes it, she comes back 2 days later, and she's like, I can't believe that worked. My doctor said I was gonna be lining up for surgery, and I can't believe that worked. How can this work? I was like, because your body runs on nutrients, vitamins and minerals. It doesn't run off surgery. So, so I was like, wow. So some people, they just don't know. They really don't know. But I'm assuming they want to know, and thus the reason for this channel and me answering questions. So yes. All right, let me see. Lithlink says, how do you treat diabetes? Is there a cure for diabetes? I heard there is no cure for diabetes, but rather it can only be controlled by what you eat. Now, that of course, that's a bald-faced lie. They want you to believe that there is no cure for diabetes because then we can't make money off of you. We can't give you useless drugs like metformin in order to manage your blood sugar and things like that. Now, does it help sugar getting to your blood? Yes, it does. But does it have all kinds of other awful symptoms like thinning out your heart wall, increasing your heart rate, making your joints hurt? All right, that kind of stuff? Yeah, it does. So the little problem you have of taking sugar into your cells, which is kind of a big thing because your cells need the sugar as energy for the mitochondria to work inside your cells, but it doesn't need processed sugar. So you guys, if you have diabetes, if anybody has diabetes, it can be cured in as little as 30 days. Type 2. Type 1 takes a few more days, 40 to 45 days. But that's all it takes to get rid of any type of diabetes. The reason people don't think you can get rid of or cure type 1 diabetes is because it's a different mechanism. See, type 2 diabetes is insulin resistant, meaning that we can give you insulin and your body will accept it as long as we give it the right shape. However, type 1 is insulin dependent, meaning that you have to take insulin. Your body doesn't make it anymore, like in type 2. Type 1, you don't make insulin anymore, so we have to inject it into you, thus insulin dependent, meaning you are dependent on an outside source of insulin to make your cells work. Now, the reason they don't think you can fix that is because when your receptor bends or misforms, they think it's stuck like that forever. No, you're a human being. Whatever deforms can reform back to its normal shape. So your receptors can go back to normal. And yes, you can start making your insulin and glucagon again. That is from your pancreas. Now, how do you get rid of diabetes? You have to flush your pancreas. Because the main tenet of type 1, especially diabetes, type 2, the reason you can change it with food is because when you eat vegetables, you get something called antioxidants. Antioxidants actually get the clots out of your blood. It also helps your blood to move faster, and it also fixes things like receptors. And that's why you can fix type 2 with food. Pretty good. But type 1 requires you to flush your system thoroughly. Hypermineralize with a bunch of, I would say organic, but they can't all be organic, minerals, supplements that you would buy from the health food store. Then you do the food, and then it works. You get rid of type 1 diabetes. The mechanisms are completely different. That's why people think, well, if you can't get rid of type 2, if you can get rid of type 2, you just can't get rid of type 1 because it's so severe. They think you get type 2 and you progress to type 1. No, they're two different. You can treat them as two separately different diseases because they require two different protocols in order to fix them. Okay, so yes. Okay, if you guys look under this video right now, it says diabetes course is closed right now. So yes, I am not accepting any new students for the diabetes course right now, but I did, and it's working marvelously. I will tell you guys, out of, I think over the last year, I've had probably 58 people, 100% gone. Now, I've only had three people who have had type 1 diabetes, but they don't have that anymore either. So that's the thing, everybody. You have to know what you can do and stop listening to people in white coats and stethoscopes around their neck, because their job to treat you, most of the drugs they give you, they know nothing about. A new drug comes out every other day from a different drug company, some known, some unknown, but every other day they come out with a new drug. How can you possibly keep up with the patient education for that? You can't. Okay, so it's an impossibility. So most doctors only know about the drug what the drug rep told them when they sold it to them. That's what they're going to tell you. And then they're going to say, take this. And if that doesn't work, come back next week and we'll give you something else. Or we'll give you something to take the edge off that. Okay. All right. Does that sound good? Yes. All right. All right. And you're listening because they're a doctor. They're supposed to be a respected health professional, and that's why you're listening to them. But if all they know how to do is drugs and surgery, you need to fire their ass and go take care of yourself. Okay, please. So let me see. So Andrew says, no sugar, go cold turkey, give up processed sugar. Now, please, I need your guidance on the type 1 diabetes. I don't. Well, I'm not taking any new people right now, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't truthfully have time right now because I do live sessions with that. So I don't really have time right now because I'm actually putting together. I got a speaking schedule that I'm putting together. I have. I have a book that I'm writing, my second book that I'm writing, and stuff like that. So I have a lot to do as far as that. But some of the, most of the stuff for the diabetes is actually in this book that I already have on Amazon. So if you want to get this one, it's on the Kindle as well. So if you want to get it for like $7.99, the electronic version, it's it. Most of the stuff is in there. My section on diabetes is called. Let me get it for you because I want to make sure. Killing cancer, different methods of cancer. Yes. Depression. I know I got it in there. Dang it. Oh, I think I talked it under secret number 15, yellow tone to the skin, which talk about the health of your liver. So yeah. All right, let me see here. Now, let me see this. Okay, so much respect. Bo, I see you. Now, Bo says, let me get this one. Okay, so Bo, I'm going to get you first. I had a number of beers over the holiday, and now I'm so bloated that my stomach feels nearly rock hard. Uh-oh. It's somewhat hindering my ease of breathing. Allergic reaction. No, that's bloating from all of the what do they call microbes or microorganisms that come from drinking a fermented substance. That's what beer is. Same thing would happen if you drank a bunch of kombucha. So say it's a fermented drink. If you drink too many of those, the bacteria are going to build up in there because bacteria create gas. Now, as long as you drink the beers and you don't feel that, the lower right quadrant, your lower right side, if that's not in pain by itself, then you're good. If it's your entire abdomen, all right, that's fine. But if you're feeling in your right lower abdomen, that's trouble. That could be a burst appendix. It could be a swollen appendix, and that can possibly kill you because you'll have feces running into your peritoneum. You don't want those kind of issues. So make sure it's not that. But in order to get rid of the bloating, bloating is nothing but excess of water that is buffering poison in your body. So you actually do a diuretic. Okay, so natural stuff that dries you out. I would say do a saline wash because the moving of salt through your body will, by osmosis, pull some of that liquid out of your body. But as far as let me see something that would be healthy for you that I could use as a diuretic. I used to have a really good one and it's slipping my mind right now. It's going to come to me. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to have to. I should know that one. Okay, so I'm going to have to come back to you on the diuretic, but you're going to need a natural. Well, look it up on Google. You'll probably look it up before I think of it, but look it up on Google. Get a natural organic food that is a natural diuretic. Okay, so that'll help. I know garlic is, but I don't want your skin pores smelling like garlic. So somebody might help me out with another one. So Google it. Google for a natural diuretic. That is not a pill or a substance. Use food. Use food, please. All right, let me see here. Shannon says, lymphatic massages, a good idea? Of course. They're one of the best ideas because you don't have to take a drug in order to get circulation or toxins out of your body. So those are really good. What about gestational diabetes? Gestational diabetes is diabetes you have when you're pregnant. If anybody doesn't know that, it's brought on by your baby stealing your nutrients because your pancreas, the job of your pancreas is to regulate your blood sugar. If your baby, which that is not happening yet, needs their sugar balance, your pancreas has to do it for them too. Therefore, you cannot do it fully unless you are all the way healthy. Most people are not. So therefore, for gestational diabetes, you have to balance that out. So you really have to eat more pure as far as antioxidants and stuff like that so that you do not have to regulate your blood sugar and you can therefore do it for your baby without having to do it for yourself because you have no sugar in your blood. All right, so there you go. So that's what you need for that one. Okay, so let me see here. Very good question. Angela says, my daughter has severe menstrual cramps to the point she misses work. What can she do? I would suggest she take, this is only temporary. You're not going to do this for the rest of her life, but this is something that will smooth it out. There's something called DIM that actually does that. It controls night sweats, menstrual cramps, but it also stuff like that, but it really helps. It's called DIM, D-I-M. That's what it'll say on the bottle. It stands for diindolyl methane. All right, that is what you're going to buy, and it helps tremendously with those, as well as night sweats. So I don't want you taking it for the rest of it, but she'll even out as she gets older. She'll start evening out, and then she won't have to take it anymore. But just on an as needed basis. It's not a drug; it's a supplement. So you can buy it in any health food store, like the Vitamin Shop, Sprouts, Whole Foods, stuff like that. Okay, just make sure she's not allergic to anything in it. Okay, so let's see here. Angela, let me see. Amaya says, hello, Alvin J. and fellow followers. Thank you, Alvin, for being informative and so real. Amaya, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, now, oh, it jumped on me. Let me see. It jumped. All right, Susan says, can you give me a website to find out what ingredients are in the vaccine? I don't study it. I mean, I go on YouTube to find out how it works, but I don't go to websites to try to find out about it because I was not interested in taking the vaccine for it or anything like that. So I wasn't going to do it. So I don't study the website. So you have to find one. I would get both sides of the story just to satisfy your mental curiosity. I'll say it that way. Because you're going to find several sites that say it's the best thing since sliced bread, and you're going to find other sites that says it's the devil. All right. So you have to make a decision based on all the information, not just one side. So that's what I do basically for a living. I actually look at both sides and see, is one telling the truth? Is both telling the truth? Can it work for more than 10% of the population? Yeah. So I couldn't at best recommend you for that. I couldn't give you one of those. Let me see. Big Woo says, don't look at symptoms, look at each organ and find out how to heal that organ. Diabetes equals pancreas. Exactly. Big Woo, that's how you narrow it down. Exactly. Yes. All right. So Trina Johnson said, what's up? What's going on, Trina? I love it. All right. Andrew, psyllium husk is good, but you need to drink lots of fluid to help the digestive system. Yeah, because psyllium is a fiber. That's a hardcore fiber. Yes, it does have. It's one of the only fibers though that has a nutritional benefit. Though I didn't even know that. Yeah, so pretty good. All right, let me see. Focus on the truth. I have terrible skin issues. And still nursing a 15-month-old. How can I help until I can cleanse my liver? Your skin conditions, if you are nursing or you're just after pregnancy, your skin is going to be messed up because your hormones are going to be messed up. And that's for a lot of women. So you'll have to wait a few months until you try something because your hormones will just mess it up anyway because they're rebalancing after your birth, especially since you're still feeding. So yeah, so if you're still in the gestational period, yeah. So, yep. Man, yeah, that's the reason. My goodness. All right. Now, as far as skin in general, so if you want to have good skin, you have to reattach the basement layer. You have to get all of your vitamins and minerals, meaning you should be on a multivitamin, especially if you're nursing. Okay. And when you do that multivitamin, as far as your skin is concerned, if you want to up it a little bit, do aloe vera, the drink, the edible kind. Okay, they sell it in a bottle, pure aloe vera. It's not the best tasting, okay, but it works wonders for your skin. All right. Now, if you want to do that, you can do that in combination with vitamin E, which is a cofactor for incorporating the aloe vera oil, and your skin turns out to be nice, smooth, supple, stuff like that, in order to get rid of darkish spots and stuff like that. Now, if the damage has already happened, like you have darkish spots on your face, you have lesions where your face broke out or something like that, you can always take a little lightly rough pad for your face and wet it and do baking soda and just rub it around, because baking soda naturally lightens the skin. So people do it on their genitals and stuff like that. They do it on their underarms, so their underarms are not darker than the rest of their body. It works really well as far as bringing back the original color, and you only use it on the dark spots. You don't do your whole face. You can. It's not going to hurt anything. You'll still even out the tone, but it'll work great if you scrub harder on the darker areas, because it tends to hydrogenate those areas, and the baking soda forces the pores open. So try it out. Try it out. All right, it does work. Liver and thyroid, yes. Now, wait a minute. Who said that? Trina says liver and thyroid connection. Yes, because your liver, we can connect your liver to everything, because it literally backs up almost every organ in your body. But when you say liver and thyroid, the liver actually keeps the adrenal glands, because they're in close proximity. It keeps the adrenal glands flowing and operating the way they're supposed to. So the adrenal glands then, by indirect relation, helps your thyroid gland. So it's not a direct relationship, even though the liver can secrete like white blood cells and clotting factors and stuff like that directly to another body part. However, it's indirect when you're talking about the function of the thyroid. Okay, so very good. Bocha says, okay, great. I have bloat in the gut and no pain anywhere else, so I'm clear there. I'm Googling natural diuretics. Yes, there you go. All right, so I'm loving it, Bo. There you go. I'm loving it. So I know garlic is good, but it'll come out of your skin. So that's why I'm not big on advocating garlic, because it makes it antisocial there. Yes. Let me see. Yes, cool. Thank you. All right. Any tips on those with multiple sclerosis? If you have MS, which is an autoimmune disease, your white blood cells are literally killing your cells that make the myelin sheath and killing the myelin sheath itself around your nerves. If you want to stop MS, it's not an easy answer, because that's kind of a long one. But if you want to get rid of MS, you're going to have to commit to a regimen, a protocol of omega-3 fats, because your body is not obviously going to make them if you don't have oligodendrocytes. So that means you're going to have to ingest them and replenish the population of oligodendrocytes you had in your nervous system. So those are what we call support structures, neuroglia inside your brain. If you're going to replenish those, you need a full bioavailable multivitamin baseline for everything. Okay, so I would recommend Andrew Lessman's Essential One. Okay, Andrew Lessman, Essential One. He sells this stuff on something called procapslabs.com or on hsn.com. He sells this stuff on there. If you guys want, always start with a multivitamin, because it starts to fix everything at the base level. On top of that, if you have multiple sclerosis, that fat has to be replenished. So I need you intaking a steady supply of good fats and what they call bad fats. I'm going to say low density fats. So I want you taking in avocados, fish oil, butter, eggs, because if you don't eat those things, all right, and I'm big on the eggs and the butter, because they tend to almost restore every single autoimmune condition that we have in the body after you have fixed the problem. Okay, so yes. So I don't care if you don't like eggs, find a way to eat them. Hard boiled, over easy, over medium, scrambled, don't care. Try to get them into your system. Okay, they work. They work. All right, let me see. Boom. Oh, no. All right, so I got to get to this. All right, so Everett O'Neill says, what do you think about food grade hydrogen peroxide for brain tumors? I know it works, but you would have to go to somebody who is specialized in the protocol, because it's very specific concentrations that you have to do, and of a certain type of edible hydrogen peroxide. So the concentration has to be specific. So I know what you're talking about, but that is That's almost a part of the miracle mineral solution. So, yeah, you got to be real careful with that, though. Yeah, because I got to tell you, I got an awful, I mean, a skull splitting headache when I did that wrong. Okay, so and it's not a headache I would wish on anybody. So it happened a while ago, but when I first heard about the hydrogen peroxide, yes, it does work, but if you don't do it right, it's not worth it. I will tell you that. Okay. I'm allergic to yeast, rye, oats, barley, gluten, basically. They inflame my skin, less itching when I stay away from these. Yes. So, and there you go. So that's the thing. You are going to have to stay away from them, or you can take something that makes them innocuous in your system. Now, that means that if you're having an allergic reaction to gluten, and those are gluten-based products, that means you're probably going to have a big reaction to lectins as well. So meaning that fruits that have seeds, all right, so stuff like apples and stuff like tomatoes, stuff that had come from a seed. All right, so stuff like that'll bother you. Andrew says, cooked eggs are healthier than raw eggs. Research has shown that protein is virtually doubled when cooked. I just heard that, Andrew. I think it was a podcast on natural health, but I just found that out as far as cooking, because usually when you cook something, it cooks the nutrients out of it, but with eggs, it actually increases the protein content of it. So yes. All right. I love it. Love it. Love it. I remember people used to crack those in a glass and just take them down like Rocky. Yeah. Now, I said I was going to get back to this because our topic here is, why is your body eating itself? Well, we wanted to stop that. So here's the solution, everybody. If you want your body to stop eating itself, you're going to do a full-fledged flush. Okay. And that means liver, that means tissue, that means colon. So the two things I always advocate for you guys are the start of what you do for this autoimmune disease. All right, whatever it is. First thing you do, saline wash. All right, flush out your gut from your mouth to your anus. Nothing is left. Okay, therefore, body can't draw in any more poisons. Second thing you're going to do is a coffee enema. You're going to do a coffee enema because when you blow up your liver with coffee, it basically blows up your liver, agitates it. All the poisons come seeping out of the walls, and now you have a brand new liver that can actually protect you much better because it's brand new. You got a new one. All right, so now your blood is cleaner. Now it's filtering poisons out of your system faster. And now, in case the guys did not know, your liver is responsible for your energy units. ATP, all right, how you have energy every day. That is done by your liver. So because of that, now, boom, you get it. Okay, so that's why we're starting out with that. Now, we want to do a flush of the tissues. Your liver will do that, and especially if you guys want to do like 2-3 coffee enemas in about 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, like one a week or maybe twice a week. If you guys want to hurry up and get the process working and working and working, yes, you can. You can do them quite often. Now, I recommend you do it, a coffee enema, once every 3 months, because there's so many poisons in the atmosphere and stuff like that. So once every 3 months, that's good. You don't have to do it every week. Okay. Once every 3 months is fine. Once a quarter. However, if you guys are trying to do something as far as an autoimmune disease, I would suggest more often. Okay. So like I told you guys last week, I did 3 times in the week. I did my coffee enema and saline wash 3 times in 1 week. Okay. I'm about to do one tomorrow morning. Okay. Because why? Poisons. Okay, so I'm trying to keep up with keeping my body healthy so the world can't kill me with its toxins. Okay, so there you go. Now, you're flushed it out. Now, if you guys want to really flush and start things rolling out of your body, I would advocate you move. Exercise. There's no better way of getting toxins out of your body than exercise, because circulation stimulates your cardiovascular and your lymphatic, your trash system, to start moving. And when you do that, guess what? The stuff leaves your body and bam, now you're right back on top as far as feeling good, feeling healthy, poison's gone, flushed out of your system. Now, for those of you who are dealing with a specific organ, like a thyroid, or you're dealing with a pancreas, like with diabetes, or thyroid, when we're talking about hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, any one of those, I'm going to give you an extra. I want you to get something called glutathione. All right. Preferably liposomal. If they don't have it, don't worry about it. Just take the capsule. Now, glutathione is something that's produced by your body to leach toxins out of your cells. if you don't, most people don't have the diet, most people don't have the exercise regimen in order to keep that flowing nicely. Okay, so you're going to have to intake it so that you can get it to work. Now, you don't have to take this for the rest of your life. It's just to cleanse on a temporary basis. So you're going to take that liposomal, preferably glutathione, and you're going to take it internally. And if you have liposomal, you just hold it under your tongue for 20 seconds. That's all you do. Spray it under your tongue and hold it there for 20 seconds. Then you can swallow it. After you do, you're going to notice that you might, all right, anytime that you flush, anytime that you cleanse, even with the saline wash and the coffee enema, when you flush, let me warn you guys, you will feel worse. Okay, so remember, you're pushing poisons out into your bloodstream so they can be gotten rid of by your kidneys and your liver. So if that is the case, that means that you just literally poisoned yourself. So that means that now you might get, terrible headaches. You might feel a lowering of energy. You might feel like just after you got up, an hour after being awake, you want to fall asleep again. That's because you have poison in your system. Now, after a couple of days, you're going to notice that your energy skyrockets. It's going to take off. All right. And you guys are going to feel great and you're going to feel wonderful. But for the first 1 or 2 days, you're going to feel awful because you're cleansing. Okay, so don't expect it to be like good right away. It's going to get worse before it gets better but that's because you're releasing the poison from your cells. Okay, let me see. So we gave you the one there. Big Woo says, I make sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root supplement daily. Bladderwrack. That's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you, Big Woo. That's the diuretic. Yes, that's a good one. All right, so I see. I use a product that aids in the body to produce glutathione. Look at that, Jeffrey. He said he takes something that aids the body in producing glutathione, which is the best way. But most people don't produce it well. So it would help you to take it if you know you don't have the best of diet, you don't have the best lifestyle, you don't get enough sleep. That's pretty much a guarantee you don't produce it that well at all. Okay, so good enough. Now, all right, she said, how long for glutathione? Shannon said, glutathione. That is, if you're going to take it, you can take it until the bottle is gone. It's only going to be a little bottle. It costs about 15 to 17 bucks. Okay, but it's going to last you probably about 20 days, 30 days. Sometimes you'll take 2 squirts, sometimes you'll take 4 squirts, so it'll last depending on how many squirts you take. However, don't overdo it. It's powerful. All right, don't overdo it. Whatever the recommendation is, take the recommendation. Don't try to go overboard on it, because doing more doesn't make it better. You're just wasting money by your body's just going to eliminate whatever you don't use. So whatever it can use, it'll take, but just do the recommendation, please. Okay, so it'll be gone in 30 days, and that's enough to clean out your entire body, all your tissues, all your cells, all your vital organs. They will be flushed. Okay, so very good. All right, now, that's exactly what happened when I recently did a saline wash. I have to do it again. Yes. All right. Because you get these headaches, you get this lowering of energy, you get this falling asleep very easily because you're so tired. Yeah, that's what happens when you flush. Yes. All right. So very good. All right, everybody. I know we've been on here for a while. We've gone 1 hour and 30 this time. Oh my goodness. All right. So you guys, it's Wednesday. Remember, we usually do this on Friday, but it's not Friday. It's Wednesday this time. So now you guys can enjoy your New Year's Friday. But after this Friday, we're going to be back on our Friday schedule. So I will see you guys on the Friday following, which should be the 8th. I think that's January 8th. I will see you guys then. So you guys have a fantastic Wednesday evening. You guys go hug your people. Let them know you love them. It was my pleasure coming in here and answering you guys' questions and enlightening you on something called the autoimmune conditions, because a lot of people don't know how they happen, why your blood cells are doing what they're doing. But I do, because I study this stuff. Okay, so you guys have a fantastic holiday. Continue to be off work and enjoy your time off work if you're still off. If you're still at work or having to go to work, I feel sorry for you, all right, because I don't yet. I got to go back next week. All right. But I will see you guys. I'm going to just go ahead and shout you guys out. Throw your names in the chat so I can see you, and we will get out of here. All right. So I will see Eat, Play, Decorate, Shannon, Angel, John, Trina Johnson, LL Lewis. LL, I see you in here. All right. LL is driving and listening. LL, blow your horn for us. There you go. All right. So focused on the truth. Got it. Who we got? Jeffrey Jones. Jeffrey Jones. Angela Gaines back in the house. Angela, I didn't see you. Very good. Let me see who else I got in here. I got Rev Biker. Thank you for stopping by. Tokia, Woodard, thank you. Trina, thank you. All right. So we got who else in here? Andrew, of course. Thank you, Andrew, for throwing it out there like you do. Okay. And Andrew, you're doing this on another level. So Andrew, I think next time when you come in here, let me know, and I'm gonna add you as a moderator. All right. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it that way, just in case Miss Cynthia Freeman is not in here. We'll have another moderator in here because I love the way you answer these questions and stuff like that. So yes. All right. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. We'll see you guys on next Friday, which will be January the 8th. All right. And we'll do it again then. We go live at 3:45. All right. So I'll see you guys later. I will let you know on my update videos how I'm doing with the weight loss and all that good stuff. And I'm going to show you the scale this time. All right. Oh, it looks bad. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Oh, it looks bad. Okay. So that is it, everybody. You guys have a great evening and we'll see you then. All right. Later. Focused on the truth. Later. Big woo. I see you. All right. We're out.